everybody. Good evening. Welcome to Caffè Lena. This is the first time I've given an introduction into the camera. It's great to have you all here with us tonight. I trust that you are there. Our music has survived for all time. As long as we've been here, we've been making music. And it will survive this crisis. This organization will survive this crisis. Folk music was built to last. And to be able to be here together on the internet, sharing this concert with you is a way that we can all be together right now and feel less lonely, less worried, and remember how much fun it is. So we have with us tonight Joe Jencks up there, a little bit more than 6 feet from me.
Indeed.
To the right.
Safe distance.
And
air fist bump. There you go.
Elbow, elbow. So Joe got more or less stranded in the Albany area, and that fact was discovered, and it was a perfect opportunity to bring him in here to do a stay-home session at the cafe. So the way this works is that Joe's going to be performing for you. Probably to the left of the viewing window, you're going to see some chat flying by, and we would love to have you share your thoughts and feelings as the show goes on. And there's also an opportunity to leave a tip, and by making donations, you're helping to keep this musical family together as we weather this crisis. So we appreciate your active participation in this concert, and we hope that you have a beautiful evening. Please welcome to the stage Joe Jencks.
Thank you, Sarah, and hello, everybody out there. I have to say this is a little bit surreal, and it's a little bit of performer's worst nightmare. You know, you play a premier club, and there's nobody in it, and so this is a brave new world for all of us. But I have so many memories of being in this room, full of people, and I've heard from people all over the United States and Canada, the UK, Australia. In the Middle East, Italy, France, all kinds of people that have been in touch with me saying they're dialing into this broadcast. So thank you so much for joining us. And I'll sing you a song I wrote on the morning that Pete Seeger passed away, but it, for me, embodies the spirit of his life and his work, and my own as well. It's called Let Me Sing You a Song. Asked me here to tell you about my neighbors and my friends, to talk about the who and what, the where and how and when. But I won't give you anything you don't already know. But if you'd like, I'll sing that list of songs before I go. Let me sing you a song about the people that I love, the poets and philosophers, the workers and the wanderers, the ones who walk the picket lines, who dare to stand and fight, and the ones who hold their babies close and rock them through the night. Well, you say it's un-American to do the things I do. I sing for justice, liberty, and civil rights, it's true. Well, I say it's un-American to ask me how I vote, how I pray, or what I believe. But here's a song I wrote. Let me sing you a song about the people that I love, poets and philosophers, the workers and the wanderers, the ones who walk the picket lines, who dare to stand and fight, and the ones who hold their babies close and rock them through the night. If I had a hammer, I'd hammer in the morning, I'd hammer in the evening, all over this land. Love between my brothers and my sisters all over this land. If you want to send me to prison, I guess that's the way it'll be. 'Cause I won't give you fodder for your paranoid machine. If the price of my silence is shackles, well then feathers take me away. For I will live to sing again and rise with a brand new day. Let me sing you a song about the people that I love, the poets and philosophers, the workers and the wanderers, the ones who walk the picket lines, who dare to stand and fight, and the ones who hold their babies close and rock them through the night. Let me sing you a song about the people that I love, the poets and philosophers, the workers and the wanderers, the ones who walk the picket lines, who dare to stand and fight, and the ones who hold their babies close and rock them through the night. Yes, the ones who hold their babies close and rock them through the night. Thank you so much. I will trust that you are enjoying that and singing along. I have to say it's strange to not hear you singing, but what a delight to be here at Caffè Lena. Since 1960, this community surrounding Caffè Lena has been making sure that the music was alive and well and happening, and I'm so grateful that Sarah, and we have Jareth tonight running the soundboard, and we have Reese doing the video editing live. Thank you, fellas, and thank you, Sarah, for making all this happen. This is a song I wrote last year, in part for my friend Mitch Badalek, who passed last year. He was the founder of the Winnipeg Folk Festival. But he invited me up to Winnipeg to sing for a very special festival in honor of the 100th anniversary of the Winnipeg General Strike. In 1919, the workers of Winnipeg went on strike. Issues of wages, child labor, health care, all kinds of things. And so I told Mitch I'd write him a song, and then I kind of forgot about it until I was on an Air Canada flight from Chicago up to Canada. And I went, hey, time to write that song since I have to play it tomorrow evening. So this is the song. It's just called Winnipeg 1919. And I sort of placed myself inside that moment to the best of my ability and wrote a song that maybe one of those workers might have written at that time. It was 1919 and all around the world people started marching with their victory flag unfurled. We've shed our blood on battlefields, enslaved in deep dark mines. We rally to the banner, bread and roses, it's our time. Come gather fellow workers and raise your voices strong. We rise today in Winnipeg to sing our victory song. And to Canada, across the USA, we cry out for justice and for fair and equal pay. All sisters and brothers and all workers here unite. We strive for one big union and defend our common rights. Come gather fellow workers and raise your voices strong. We rise today in Winnipeg to sing our victory song. Halifax and Thunder Bay to the Fraser River shore, Seattle, San Francisco and Chicago hear us roar. From Boston on to Dublin town are heard the people's cries. No more to drudge and idler when the workers organize. Come gather fellow workers and raise your voices strong. We rise today in Winnipeg to sing our victory song. us were born of means and others not a dime. We spend our lives in service to a cause we hold sublime. All laborers in commonwealth, now let our voices say that one way or another we will bring the greater day. Come gather, fellow workers, and raise your voices strong. We rise today in Winnipeg to sing our victory song. Big Bill Haywood, Mother Jones, and Eugene Debs, along with Emma Goldman and Joe Hill and all the Reds, and all those fellow travelers who beckon to the call. An injury to one of us is an injury to all. Come gather, fellow workers, and raise your voices strong. We rise today in Winnipeg to sing our victory song. Not win our struggle here, but sure as hell we'll try. For the future of our children, we are steadfast by and by. It's only when our minds are joined with muscle we can stand and bring to birth a new world, arm in arm and hand in hand. Come gather, fellow workers, and raise your voices strong. We rise today in Winnipeg to sing our victory song. Come gather, fellow workers, and raise your voices strong. We rise today in Winnipeg to sing our victory song. We rise up all around the world and sing our freedom song. That's the awkward space that would normally be filled with your applause. And we soldier on in a new paradigm. Sitting on a dock in Maine a few years back. It was one of those amazing nights when the stars were so clear in the sky. It was just a whole river of light overhead. And the bay that I was sitting on north of Bath was just so calm that that same river of stars was reflected under my feet as well. And as I sat there pondering my own existence, feeling like the filling in a celestial sandwich, I started to think of the words of Rabbi Hillel from over 2,000 years ago. It's recorded in the Talmud that he said a person should keep in each of their front pockets 2 notes. And in one pocket it should say, I am the center of the universe. And in the other pocket it should say, I am a speck of dust. For both are equally true. And then I jumped from there to the 13th century Sufi mystic Rumi, as you do. And from there to an old American folk song, a bit of a chestnut by some people's standards, but I particularly like some of the later verses. How often at night, when the heavens are bright, with the light from the glimmering stars, have I stood there amazed and asked as I gazed if their glory exceeds that of ours. One moment of mercy was all that it took to drive me clean out of my head. A piece of my heart had been sleeping so long that I had given it for dead. Better than I traveled this journey and none have returned here unchanged. But the lilacs in bloom and the thunderhead looms, and my lonely heart prays for the rain. Let it rain, oh, let it rain. Let the waters of love wash away all the pain. Let the hope of redemption be all that remains. Let it rain, let it rain, let it rain. When the ancients and mariners looked toward the heavens at night, did they yearn for the day? Were they transfixed by the wonders they saw in the lights that guided their way? I need to believe that there is no sadness so great that it cannot heal. Sometimes the longing inside it consumes me so much, well, it's all that I feel. Let it rain, oh, let it rain. Let the waters of love wash away all the pain. Let the hope of redemption be all that remains. Let it rain, let it rain, let it rain. When I stand on the ledge and I cling to the edge for dear life, afraid to let go. What if love's call pulls me into a free fall? What then? Oh, tell me what then? Somewhere way out there, beyond right and wrong, there's a place that I long to see. If I don't return, I'll be wishing you well from wherever I happen to be. Let it rain, oh, let it rain. Let the waters of love wash away all the pain. Let the hope of redemption be all that remains. Let it rain, let it rain, let it rain. Let it rain, oh, let it rain. Let the waters of love wash away all the pain. Let the hope of redemption be all that remains. Let it rain, let it rain, let it rain. Let it rain, let it rain, let it rain. I hope that you are all singing along at home, because of course there's no one there to hear you, so you can sing as loudly as you want. I've been thinking a lot about all the school children, all of the students that are booted out of school for the rest of the year. And I was delighted this last fall and into this early winter to be north of Chicago in Waukegan and work with North Elementary School students. And this is one of the songs that I wrote. This was with Miss May's class. And it's a song about Dr. George Washington Carver. It's called Peanut Man. What a lot of people don't know, actually, ADD moment, I'll interrupt myself, is that for all of the things that George Washington Carver created with the peanut, he created almost twice as many with the sweet potato. So that's probably a useful little bit of information before I sing this song. Back in 1864, Diamond Grove, Missouri, a boy was born in slavery. He would change the world. very first African American to enroll at Iowa State. He earned a bachelor and a master's degree. He really changed his fate. Peanut man, sweet potato man, cared about people, cared about the land. Loved to work with plants, make things grow. Dr. George Washington Carver, he was a good, good man to know. He became a scientist, a botanist profound. He loved to solve big mysteries with what grew in the ground. Sweet potato rubber, candy, soap, and glue. A professor at Tuskegee, a man whose heart was true. Peanut man, sweet potato man, cared about people, cared about the land. Loved to work with plants and make things grow. Dr. George Washington Carver, he was a good, good man to know. When the farmers grew all cotton, nearly killed the soil flat, he told them to grow peanuts to put the nitrogen back. Education is the key to unlock the golden door of freedom. Pay attention to the things you learn. Someday you're gonna need them. Peanut man, sweet potato man, cared about people, cared about the land. Loved to work with plants and make things grow. Dr. George Washington Carver, he was a good, good man to know. Peanut man, sweet potato man, cared about people, cared about the land. Loved to work with plants and make things grow. Dr. George Washington Carver, he was a good, good man to know. Well, many of you know that I'm a dual U.S.-Irish citizen, and I try and get to Ireland every year. And this last summer while I was over there, I wrote this next song. It's called When the Moon Rises Over Skibbereen. And that's how you know it's a real Joe Jencks show, because my OCD is kicking in. By the banks of the island, the Abbey story graves 10,000 nameless lay. Their faces forgotten, their stories remain to speak of unbearable pain. Their voices rise up as the wind breaks the silence. The trees all bear witness to shame. Light comes from nature, starvation from politics. Through history, it's always the same. When the moon rises over Skibbereen, the most melancholy moon I have seen. Do you think she remembers the sorrow she's seen when the moon rises over Skibbereen? 1845, potatoes first failed, but the people knew hard times before. So they pawned their belongings for food to survive. By late 1846, they were barely alive. Too weak from the fever and hunger and thirst to properly bury their dead, they were left by the roadside, dropped in the dirt, with hardly a prayer even said. When the moon rises over Skibbereen, the most melancholy moon I have seen, do you think she remembers the sorrow she's seen when the moon rises over Skibbereen? And who takes the blame for a failure so grand? There's plenty of guilt to go round. By time it was known how bad it would get, thousands were laid in the ground, in the ground. Some say the workhouse and others the crown. Some say the landlord's to blame. But by the next world or the new world, 3 million were gone, and the country was forever changed. Now the land and her people are thriving today, but there's a weight on the hills and the glens, and it's left to the living to remember the famine and swear to it never again. When the moon rises over Skibbereen, the most melancholy moon I have seen, do you think she remembers the sorrow she's seen when the moon rises over Skibbereen? When the moon rises over Skibbereen, the most melancholy moon I have seen, do you think she remembers the sorrow she's seen when the moon rises over Skibbereen? When the moon rises over Skibbereen. I play that song in part to remind us that there are people who have survived far worse than what we're going through. And lay off on the panic around the toilet paper. They're still making this stuff. It's really okay. There will be enough. A friend really was distraught about that, but it will all be well. If you're really freaking out about hand sanitizer, I have to tell you, I went to a local liquor store and I got a couple of liters of Everclear, which is 95% pure alcohol. And I went to Walgreens and I got a jug of aloe vera juice, and you mix them 2/3 Everclear, 1/3 aloe vera juice, put it in a spray bottle. You have a great hand sanitizer. And if the apocalypse doesn't come, you can mix it with pineapple juice and other things and, have a party. But you can't do that with rubbing alcohol. At least you shouldn't. I strongly advise against it. This instrument is an electric bouzouki, which is, a punishable offense in some places, but it's allowed here in upstate New York. And I'm I'm going to sing for you a song I've been having a love affair with lately. It was written by Leonard Cohen. No, I'm not going to sing that song, trust me. Not that one you just thought of, but a different Leonard Cohen song. We're just going to try that again.
Gather up the brokenness and bring it to me now. The fragrance of those promises you never dared to vow. The splinters that you carry, the cross you left behind. Come healing of the body, come healing of the mind. And let the heavens hear it, the penitential hymn. Come healing of the spirit, come healing of the limb. Behold the gates of mercy in arbitrary space, and none of us deserving the cruelty or the grace. O solitude of longing, where love has been confined. Come healing of the body, come healing of the mind. O see the darkness yielding that tore the light apart. Come healing of the reason, come healing of the heart. O troubled dust concealing an undivided love, the heart beneath is teaching to the broken heart above. Then let the heavens falter and let the earth proclaim. Come healing of the altar, come healing of the name.
I'm going to sing this next one for my friend Phil Amadon. All the way down in Cincinnati, Ohio. It's called Song of the Rails. It's one you can sing along with too from home or or wherever you happen to be.
Well, if you have a minute, John, I sure feel like hell. The union vote is coming up and things aren't looking well. You know I'd like to stand up for the things that I believe, but it seems that my life's not as simple as it used to be. I was born in Tulsa back in 1951. They say that I could ride a spike before I learned to run. In a land of dust and corn, the rails spoke a steel truth. The men that kept them working were the heroes of my youth, for they sang, come diddle-diddle-I-do-I-day, working for the railway. Come diddle-diddle-I-do-I-day, working for the railway. When I was a young man and I thought to run away, a freight train, it came through our town and I got on one day. Rode it down to Gallup and then back to Santa Fe. Everywhere I listened I could hear the railway workers singing, come diddle-diddle-I-do-I-day, working for the railway. Come diddle-diddle-I-do-I-day, working for the railway. 1969, I met a soul to match my life, but her father said that I must have a job to take a wife. So I looked around at all the work that I might do, found that it was time for me to sing the only song I knew. Here come diddle-diddle-I-do-I-day, working for the railway. Come diddle-diddle-I-do-I-day, working for the railway. Well, now we have 5 children and they bring me joy each day. But the bills keep getting higher and I've nothing left to pay. The union says that we must strike and stand up, don't you see? But I've just got too damn many people who depend on me. Here come diddle-diddle-I-do-I-day, working for the railway. Come diddle-diddle-I-do-I-day, working for the railway. At the heart of every worker is the welfare of his kin. And to walk away from pay that's good, it seems, is such a sin. The bosses, they don't understand how hard I work each night. And I've got mouths to feed, and so I do my part till daylight, singing, come diddle-diddle-I-do-I-day, working for the railway. Come diddle-diddle-I-do-I-day, working for the railway. Come diddle-diddle-I-do-I-day, working for the railway. Come diddle-diddle-I-do-I-day, working for the railway.
So those of you that haven't run out to your nearest liquor store to go buy Everclear and Aloe. This next song is one that I wrote for my friend Pat Trudeau, who was ordained last fall up in Toronto, Ontario. And I'm going to grab a little sheet here. I would like to thank Stephen Colbert for jumping into the deep end of the pool earlier this week and making a live performance to nobody in the room, kind of the new hip thing, and allowing it to be awkward as it is for any performer. And I'd like to thank the Indigo Girls for bringing a music stand onto their show last night and reading chords from a book. That made me happy. I figured if it's good enough for them, it's good enough for me. And so this is a song going out to a lot of people who need to hear these words right now, the words of Julian of Norwich, medieval mystic. And she had a saying, a mantra, all will be well, all will be well, all manner of things will be well. And I think it's really important for us right now to breathe into the moment and recognize that all will be well, This is all going to work out, and if we all do our best to make sure we don't get each other sick and halt the advance of this to the best of our ability, it is all going to work out. And there's so many things that people are worried about, and there's so many people who are struggling on such a basic level every year, even before this happens. There's so many people in this country and all around the world that are struggling to just make rent and be able to afford to see a doctor. And so I encourage you to check out some of the various sites online, the Musicians Union, Caffè Lena, almost all the cafes and folk venues that you support throughout the year have employees, they have wait staff, they have sound engineers and lighting techs and a whole crew of people that help make these concerts happen. And we are going to be out of work in many ways, and so are they. So a lot of these clubs have emergency relief funds set up, a lot of folk organizations. Please be as generous as you're able in helping not just the performers, but everybody who helps us bring the art to you in all of these different ways. And this goes out to Pat and to all of you. All will be well.
All will be well. All will be well, all manner of things will be well. Wherever life may call you, wherever you may dwell, all will be well, all will be well. We gather here to witness and affirm the harmony of spirit and of heart. Manifest within you, brought forth from deepest hope, to be a force of healing in this world. All will be well, all will be well, all manner of things will be well. Life may call you, wherever you may dwell, all will be well, all will be well. You find your purpose in service to a light that emanates from each and every being that is life. We see the gifts that blossom in your care, and the people who are nourished by your love. All will be well, all will be well, all manner of things will be well. Wherever life may call you, wherever you may dwell, all will be well, all will be well. May you go forth to mend what has been broken, to feed those who are hungry, to quench the ones who thirst for a world of compassion, for mercy that abounds, and a place to dwell in sacred gentleness.
All will be well. Sing it with me.
All will be well. All will be well. All manner of things will be well. Wherever life may call you, wherever you may dwell, all will be well, all will be well. Wherever life may call you, wherever you may dwell, all will be well, all will be well. All will be well, all will be well.
I was driving down the road one day, and I thought, what would happen if Ray Charles and Dr. Seuss had gotten together for a co-writing session? And this was my answer to that question, because, of course, as a songwriter, I live in a world where, having asked a question like that, I had an ethical obligation to answer it. So this is what I wrote, driving from Albany to Chicago one day. And it's always better in tune. So I will read the comments after this broadcast. Obviously, I can't read them right now. I mean, I haven't rigged my tuner for, Bluetooth so I can see your comments mid-song. I'm working on getting baseball scores on my tuner, but that's still a technology that's a little bit ahead of its time, I suppose. But I will be reading your comments, so feel free to make whatever notes you want to make on that website there, and I'll respond to as many of you as I'm able.
Well, I may not be the smartest man that ever walked on earth, and some of what's gone well for me might be an accident to birth. Oh, but deep inside, the mystery surrounding me and you is something I've come to know and hold as deeply true. Well, you may be a woman from the right side of town, going out evenings in the finest of gowns. Ah, but one thing's for certain, you know it ain't news. Sooner or later, everybody sings the blues.
Well, you may be erudite,
or a real cool cat, a high-priced jet setter, going this way and that. I've one thing's for certain, no matter the shoes, sooner or later everybody sings the blues. Oh, lonely, we all get lonely sometimes. There's nothing anyone can do but hang on for just another day and hope to see it through.
well, you may be ironic.
You may be a clown,
You may swear that you will never wear your smile upside down.
oh, but one thing's for certain, whether you win or lose. Sooner or later, everybody sings the blues. Yes, one thing's for certain, you know it ain't news. Sooner or later, everybody sings the blues. Yes, sooner or later, everybody sings the blues.
All right. I'm going to do a brand new song. I was just actually writing this morning in the shower, thinking about you all tonight, and thinking about all of the people that I know, all over North America, all over different parts of the world. And I don't know, I just woke up this morning and this is what was running through my head. So this is what came out. It's called Love Will Guide My Way. It's in the spirit of, in the spirit of the work of Ken Whiteley up in Toronto. Thank you, Brother Whiteley.
I will greet the morning, I will greet the day, I will greet the evening. Love will guide my way. Try it. I will greet the morning, I will greet the day, and I will greet the evening. Love will guide my way. The sun goes down and the sun comes up. The earth goes round and I fill my cup with the goodness all around me. Love will guide my way. I will greet the morning, I will greet the day, I will greet the evening. Love will guide my way. The money comes and the money goes. I count my blessings, count my woes, but the kindness all around me grows, and love will guide my way. I will greet the morning, I will greet the day, I will greet the evening. Love will guide my way. Through broken hearts and broken bones, by internet and mobile phones, with gentle or impassioned tones, love will guide my way. I will greet the morning, I will greet the day, I will greet the evening. Love will guide my way. Through times of fear and sadness, through times of joy and gladness, through apocalyptic madness, I say love will guide the way. I will greet the morning, I will greet the day, I will greet the evening. Love will guide my way. So put your hands to the rafters, sing and shout with laughter, 'cause if it's hope you're after, well then love will guide the way. I will greet the morning, I will greet the day, I will greet the evening. Love will guide my way. I will greet the morning, I will greet the day, I will greet the evening. Love will guide my way. Sing it, we will greet the morning, we will greet the day, we will greet the evening. Love will guide our way. I will greet the evening, love will guide my way. Through whatever else may happen, I know love will guide the way.
There you go, a brand new one just for you guys. And I'm going to get this off the stage now because we're done with it. I'll set it over here out of the way. going to take us all the way back to last August, which I know is very, very hard to remember. Last August seems like a lifetime ago because, of course, we're now all in Chapter 4 of a Michael Crichton thriller, only it's happening real time. But last summer, one of the most peculiar things happened, and I couldn't help myself but write a song about it. It was like almost an involuntary response to the world, and it came out as this song.
Up in the North Atlantic, there's a place that's quite well known, though not too many visit, even fewer call it home. Subjects of the Danish crown an independent state, but you can't procure a nation or just monetize their fate. It's not for sale, it's not for sale. You can throw a temper tantrum, you can rant and you can rail, but you can't have everything you want, you're not too big to fail. It's not for sale, it's not for sale. The Prime Minister of Denmark said this is quite absurd. You cannot purchase Greenland, and that's the final word. You called the woman nasty 'cause she would not do your bidding. People all around the world say, man, is this guy kidding? It's not for sale, it's not for sale. You can throw a temper tantrum, you can rant and you can rail, but you can't have everything you want, you're not too big to fail. It's not for sale, it's not for sale. Now there is no fake truth, there is only fact or fiction. No bloviating blunderbuss can reconcile the friction. A tweet is not a law, and no order can be given to make a people sell to you the country that they live in. It's not for sale, it's not for sale. You can throw a temper tantrum, you can rant and you can rail, but you can't have everything you want, you're not too big to fail. It's not for sale, it's not for sale. It's not for sale, it's not for sale. Try Iceland, it's not for sale, it's not for sale.
Remember when that was the worst thing we had to worry about? And then it was Sharpiegate. Then it was the president directing, the National Weather Service via Sharpie. And so I'm nostalgic for those days of last summer right now. I said to a friend of mine the other day, and this should not be taken out of context, which it is, but I said the unfortunate thing is that productivity begets productivity, and I occasionally, as an adult, long for the days of sort of ignorance and lethargy. And, I think there are many moments in our lives when we think, wow, I wish I could slow down just a little bit. But of course, none of us had in mind that this was how it would happen. But it is an invitation. It is an invitation to slow down just a little bit, to take a deep breath into the moment at an appropriate social distance, of course, but to take a deep breath into the moment and to remember that we have gotten through worse than this before. Our ancestors have gotten through worse than this before. And they did it by pulling together. They did it by finding what they had in common and celebrating and appreciating that more than what was different. And so we have opportunities now. There's so many people that are going to be struggling. But we have opportunities to express our love and our appreciation for so many people in our society. I was moved to tears last week when the Italians gathered on their balconies and gave their national health care workers a standing ovation. And in spite of many challenges in this country, there's so many people who will be on the front lines of this, some of them hourly workers, you know, making almost no money at all in janitorial service and cleaning services, doing the best that they can do to try and keep all of us safe. They're going to be sort of the viral firefighters of this, the ones that keep sterilizing and cleaning spaces so that they're safe. So just hold all of those people in your hearts and know that, you know, there's a whole lot of people out there who need your goodwill and your good wishes. I'm going to sing you a song now that comes out of the old catalog of the Lomax recordings from the Library of Congress. I'd love to thank Stephen Winnick and Jennifer Cutting for putting this one on my radar. I'm missing a piece of hardware here. Oh, it's in my pocket. How about that? The Yellow Capo. Fantastic. It's an old Chain Gang song, and there have been many blues songs based on it since it was originally recorded in 1939 in a prison yard down in Florida. But I have reverted largely to the original lyrics to the extent that they were understandable. And being a songwriter, I've filled in a few based on my best guess as a poet as to what was being said on a recording that really wasn't quite audible. It's called Take This Hammer.
Take this hammer, hammer and give it to the captain. Take this hammer, hammer and give it to the captain. Take this hammer, hammer and give it to the captain. Tell him I'm gone, Lord, tell him I'm gone. And if he asked you, was I running? And if he asked you, was I running? And if he asked you, was I running? Tell him I was flying, Lord, tell him I was flying. Captain, captain, this old hammer too heavy. Captain, captain, this old hammer too heavy. Captain, captain, this old hammer too heavy for the likes of man, for the like of man. Must be the hammer, hammer that killed John Henry. Must be the hammer, hammer that killed John Henry. Must be the hammer, hammer that killed John Henry. But it won't kill me, Lord, it won't kill me. This old hammer, hammer shine like silver. This old hammer, hammer shine like silver. This old hammer, hammer shine like silver. But it rings like gold, Lord, it rings like gold. Don't you make me wear these old cold shackles. Don't you make me wear these old cold shackles. Don't you make me wear these old cold shackles. 'Cause they wound my soul, Lord, they wound my soul. 25 miles alone in Mississippi. 25 miles alone in Mississippi. 25 miles alone in Mississippi. Tell them I'm gone, Lord, tell them I'm gone. Lord, I'm coming to that Jordan water. Lord, I'm coming to that Jordan Jordan water. Lord, I'm coming to that Jordan water. Don't you let me drown, don't you let me drown. Take this hammer, hammer and give it to the captain. Take this hammer, hammer and give it to the captain. Take this hammer, hammer and give it to the captain. Tell him I'm gone, Lord, tell him I'm gone. Tell him I'm gone, Lord, tell him I'm gone. Tell him I'm gone, Lord, tell him I'm gone.
Yeah. Right on. So I'm so aware that we are all spread out, but we're all together. We're all together in ways that we can't really comprehend, but somehow we can feel it. We can feel it that we're connected in the energy, in the space and of the moment. And I think that's extraordinary. And there's going to be so many opportunities to stay connected. I encourage all of you not to get too lonely. I got a note from a friend tonight in Boston who's hosting dinner parties virtually. I got a note from a friend in Italy who was doing the same thing. They were gathering in the evening via Zoom and getting 7 or 8 friends together and having conversations and sharing meals together for those that live alone or happen to be found alone, find themselves alone when lockdowns occur in various places. But, it's so important to keep reaching out. It's so important to keep reaching out to people. And speaking of reaching out, my phone has been going crazy this whole time from people sending me texts, which is great. I will, again, respond to as many of them as I can in a timely fashion. But thank you so much for supporting Caffè Lena, a marvelous community of musicians and presenters that are centered around the history of this place. And of course, Sarah Craig doing a great job keeping the music alive and well here through whatever else may come. And a big shout out to Jareth again running sound, and to Reese cutting the video live for us here tonight. And I'm going to do a few more songs for you, and then we'll call it a night. But I had some requests, so I want to try and get to those. And this next one was one of those requests.
End of the season and the wind's bitter cold. It's just the sort of morning to make young boys feel old. The tanks are all topped off, we got the permits free and clear. One more good haul could see us through until we start next year. But it's my call alone to make, and one I hate to blow. 6 families now, including mine, dependent on the things I think I know. I know the wind and water, and I am not afraid. But living off the ocean is a complicated trade. I never get my profit margins or my pride confused with the safety of this vessel or its good and hearty crew. But the time is now or never, and the weather looks to hold. I gather up the crew on deck, we bow our heads, pray before we go. St. Christopher, protect us from the cold and stormy sea. Watch over all these fishermen who put their trust in me. Never mind that salty spray or crash out of the wave. Bring us safely to our families and keep us from the grave. St. Christopher, we call on you this day. Fished in weather worse than this at least 100 times. I still can't shake the shivers that are crawling up my spine. 11 hours out, the swells are getting deep. We can't put the nets out and it's too damn rough to sleep. If we stick it out till morning, things may calm down with the light. But if it turns against us, we'll be lucky if we see another night. St. Christopher, protect us from the cold and stormy sea. Watch over all these fishermen who put their trust in me. Never mind that salty spray or crashing of the wave. Bring us safely to our families and keep us from the grave. St. Christopher, we call on you this day. Well, it was on a night like this my father went away. Even though my mother begged and pleaded him to stay, I was standing there and waiting as his trawler left the docks. Saw the pictures of the wreckage that they found upon the rocks. 7 men were rescued of the 9 that left that day. As they saw that captain, he was on the bridge. They swear they heard him say, St. Christopher, protect us from the cold and stormy sea. Watch over all these fishermen who put their trust in me. Never mind that salty spray or crashing of the wave. Bring them safely to their families or quickly to their graves. St. Christopher, I call on you this day. Now the difference between bravery and foolishness is small. A healthy sense of fear can bring perspective to us all. I know you men are hungry for the cash this catch could bring. And if we go back empty, we'll be real tight come spring. But I've learned history's lesson and it isn't worth the pain. Things we stand to lose are so much greater than the things we have to gain. St. Christopher, protect us from the cold and stormy sea. Watch over all these fishermen who put their trust in me. Never mind that salty spray or crashing of the wave. Bring us safely to our families and keep us from the grave. St. Christopher, we call on you this day. Christopher, protect us from the cold and stormy sea. Watch over all these fishermen who put their trust in me. Never mind that salty spray or crashing of the wave. We will go back to our families. It isn't worth the grave. St. Christopher, we call on you. Christopher, we call on you. St. Christopher, we thank you for this day.
All right, two more requests, and that will be the night. But thank you so much for tuning in. And you can, of course, share the link to this broadcast with friends. It will stay live as an archived broadcast up on YouTube. All proceeds from the tip jar are getting split 50-50 between Caffè Lena and myself. So not only are you helping me out by putting something in the tip jar, you're helping keep the doors open, or the virtual doors open, here at Caffè Lena as well. So please be as generous as you're able, and that will help everybody who relies on this establishment for their livelihood in the community to stay engaged. had many, many requests for this song via email and Facebook. And thank you for that. I'm so glad that my music lives in the lives of so many of you as part of the soundtrack of your daily experiences. I'm very touched.
Far away in distant lands, the timbers tossed with hopeful hearts and calloused hands reach toward the light, the torch held high, and cast their gaze upon the lady of the harbor, and she welcomes them with open arms. She says, let my children in. Shine on, shine on, oh you lady of the harbor. And so it was with my own kin. They sailed from Sweden and from France and Ireland, their earthly cares packed in their bags. They cast their gaze upon the lady of the harbor, and she welcomed them with open arms. She said, let my children in. Shine on, shine on, oh you lady of the harbor. Now we're locking down the borders and we're filling up the jails, and we say they don't belong. How conveniently do we forget that we've all come to sing the same sweet song? Will the dream survive the strain? Will huddled masses have a chance to learn its sweet refrain? Or will we fall into our fears and turn our backs against the lady of the harbor? And she welcomes them with open arms. She says, let my children in. Shine on, shine on, oh you lady of the harbor. And she welcomes them with open arms. She says, let my children in. Shine on, shine on, oh you lady of the harbor. Shine on, shine on, oh you lady of the harbor. Oh you lady of the harbor.
Keep the light shining, everybody, in every way that you can. The light in your heart, the light in your community. If you feel like it, put Put a light in your window every night so that your neighbors know that you're thinking about them. Keep the lights on in every way possible, because there's a lot of people out there that are scared. Maybe some of you are among them. Had an email last night at 1 o'clock in the morning from a friend in Texas who said, just please tell me it's going to be okay. Just tell me it's going to be okay. And that's part of why I sang All Will Be Well. It will all be okay. This is all going to work out, and we will be here for each other. It's what we have always done, and it's what we will do moving forward. We will be there for each other. This song goes out especially to my friend Carrie Breen. Listening in from Greeley, Colorado. But it goes out to all of us. It's called In the Coming of the Years. And it's another one that I wrote while I was in Ireland, but it talks about how we'll all be together again. So those of you that are feeling a little lonely, a little isolated, a friend of mine shared with me something that was, going across Facebook, I think, but it was, the stages of working from home. And the first stage was, wow, I'm really excited to work from home. And the second stage was, I really miss talking to people. And the third stage was, I hope that pigeon comes back tomorrow. So when you find yourself feeling that way, reach out to a friend. Those of you that know me, reach out to me. Those of you that don't know me, send me an email through my website. It's joejencks.com, joejencks.com. Send me a note. I guarantee you I will respond personally. And let's stay connected through all of this. When I first came here to wander these mountains, my heart was tattered and torn. Ever the rover and all the world over, no land ever felt like a home. But here in the crags and the bogs and the valleys, I found some measure of ease, where the song of the wind is as sweet to behold as the beautiful rose of Tralee. And it's high up and over the mountains of Kerry that I love so dear. I don't know when I will see you again in the coming of the years. I have been blessed to live a good life. I can count my friends by the score, and I have shared meals and moments of kindness. God willing, I'll know many more. But when the burden I've chosen to shoulder is more than I can stand, I find that my thoughts wander back up to Kerry, that rugged and beautiful land. And it's high up and over the mountains of Kerry that I love so dear. I don't know when I will see you again in the coming of the years. When I have traveled all of my journeys and sung all of my songs, when I have given the best that I have and righted most of my wrongs, then take me back to the place that I love. Let me gaze out over the sea.
Take me back to the mountains of Kerry and let my spirit run free. And it's high up and over the mountains of Kerry that I love so dear. I don't know when I will see you again in the coming of the years. And it's high up and over the mountains of Kerry that I love so dear. I don't know when, but I'll see you again in the coming of the years. I don't know when, but I'll see you again in the coming of the years. I don't know when, but I'll see you again in the coming of the years. Thank you so much. Have a great night. Keep the music alive. Play for yourself. Play for your friends. Sing for yourself. Do whatever you can. But keep singing, keep making music, keep the spirit of folk alive in your heart. And what's underneath the music is the incredible compassion that this community embodies. Please keep that alive and well. Signing off from Caffe Lena, this is Joe Jencks, and thanks again to Sarah Craig and to all of the folks here that make this happen. Have a great night. And have a great night. Just so glad you could all join us. Thanks. Sarah and everybody that you all have been, raising your hands out in digital land. So thank you so much. And I really am, there we are. There we go. Thank you, brother. Jarrett just put me back in my own monitors. That makes all the difference in the world. We're back here. So I don't even know if you heard anything I just said, actually, because I'm not sure if my mic was on. But, you just saw some guy standing here in a purple shirt going, woohoo! Yeah, how about that? But, yeah, wow. I'm just so touched to have this opportunity to be here with you. It was total serendipity that I happened to be here visiting a friend when, everybody just said, hey, everybody self-quarantine. Let's slow it down. So that's great. I'll sing a couple more songs for you and we'll call it a night. What do we feel like singing? Let's do one more on here first, and then we'll wrap up with, It's a song I wrote, it's kind of self-explanatory, the content, but I wrote it on the 50th anniversary of King's assassination. But I start out talking about when he was a boy and how he felt a call to make the world different than it was, even as a 6-year-old boy. And I think most of us feel a call to see things be different or better than they are.
And we have this amazing opportunity in the coming weeks and months to slow down just enough that we can each, in our own way, figure out which piece of that work we want to take on. We can't all do everything, but each of us can do something. And so if we all take this opportunity to figure out what it is that we can do to make a difference, a huge difference will be made globally. Let's just try that again. That was terrible. Third time's a charm.
January 15th, 1929, born in the city of Atlanta. Just another preacher's kid singing in the choir. This kid had a vision, reach for something higher. 6 years old when segregation put him in his place. Started school and lost his childhood friends, questioning the order of society and faith. Many deeper truths which one cannot escape. Our turn, oh Martin Luther King, keep holding on to what you know is true. Living out the teachings, continuing to sing. Martin, oh Martin Luther King. Booker T. Washington High School was the place. He began to raise his voice on poverty and race. Headed off to Morehouse, a 15-year-old sage, chasing dreams of dignity beyond his youthful age. Our turn, oh Martin Luther King, keep speaking up for what you know is true. Living out the teachings, continuing to sing. Martin, oh Martin Luther King. Studying the sacred word challenged him to grow. He headed for Montgomery toward a fate he could not know. City buses, boycotts, peaceful marches in the street. A bomb thrown through a window, crowd of thorns laid at his feet. Albany to Birmingham, St. Augustine to Selma, Boston, New York City, Chicago and D.C., carrying the burden and the banner of equality till 1968, April 4th, Memphis, Tennessee. Martin, oh Martin Luther King, we will speak for what we know is true. Living out the teachings, continuing to sing. Martin, oh Martin Luther King. Martin, oh Martin Luther King, we will speak for what we know is true. Living out your teachings, continuing to sing. Martin, oh Martin Luther King. Living out your teachings, continuing to sing. Martin, oh Martin Luther King. Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King.
And we'll wrap up with one of my absolute all-time favorite songs, but I got to switch instruments. Hang on just a second. Again, thanks to Jara, thanks to Reese, thanks to Sarah. Thanks to all the folks. Thanks to my friend Kate here this evening, the lone audience member cheering me on. And yeah, please sing this all together. You don't have to go out on your balcony. I won't make you do that. In some places, it's still pretty cold, but I hope that you will sing this with me virtually. Actually, I want you to sing it for real, but, you know, I will imagine you singing it on your virtual balcony. I see fields of green and red roses too. I watch them bloom for me and for you. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue and clouds of white, the bright blessed day and the dark sacred night. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of the people passing by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. I hear babies crying, I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than I'll ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of the people passing by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. I hear babies crying, I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than I'll ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Yes, I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Oh, yeah. So no shaking hands, but you can say I love you. And please say I love you to as many people as you think need to hear it. Have a great night, everybody. Take care. We'll see you soon.